Hey, what's up YouTube? Spawny here. Today I'm going to be going over my first top 10 video for you guys. I'm going to be doing my top 10 most powerful synchro monsters ever. One quick thing that I decided to do about this list is I'm not going to be including any synchro monsters that have had an errata that has completely changed their effect. So cards that have gotten PSCT are fine, but cards like Dark Strike Fighter, sorry buddy, you can't make the cut for this list. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. So starting off our list with number 10, Beals of the Diabolic Dragon. Excuse me. This card is basically generic given the fact that Plague Spider Zombies is a very splashable tuner into almost any deck. And that's really the only real requirement it has that isn't technically generic. Not being able to be destroyed by battle or card effects is a very good effect. Also, when you splash in the effect that when you take any sort of damage, be it by battle or card effect, it gains attack equal to the amount of the damage you took. That makes for an incredibly strong synchro monster. This card was definitely a force to be reckoned with back a few years ago when it hit the field. Number 9, Formula Synchron. Being the game's first synchro tuner, it was very incredible. Also, the fact that it was a level 2 and was easily accessible with generic level 1 tuners like Glow Up Bulb being in the game that were easily special summonable from the graveyard to make this card. Given the fact that it drew a card when it was synchro summoned, so inherently it was already a +1. And then also the fact that it broke open the synchro mechanic by being able to allow you to synchro summon during your opponent's turn was incredible. Imagine being able to Black Rose your opponent during their turn. That's pretty good. Number 8, Black Rose Dragon. Well, this is one of the game's older synchro monsters. It's definitely still one of the better ones. While Black Rose Dragon is a generic level 7 dragon synchro monster that's already decent enough, but add in the fact that it could nuke the board just by being summoned was incredible. Also, the fact that you could, had that cute little once per turn effect where you could do things with plants to make your opponent's attack monsters attack 0, and it was just already really good. While that effect wasn't the most relevant effect, when it happened, it was still pretty good. Number 7, Stardust Dragon and Stardust Spark Dragon. Now, Stardust Dragon was at one point probably considered the game's most powerful synchro monster. So being able to tribute it to negate any card effect that would destroy anything was already really good. And the fact that it just summoned itself back during the end phase was incredible. It was almost impossible to kill without a trap card like Dimensional Prison or a trap card like a Karma Cut or something, which wasn't really being heavily played at the time. Stardust Dragon just completely changed the way. It was a card that had all the defensive abilities you could want, and it also had a decent body of 2500. It really had it all. And also that its own tribute effect was also basically protection that made it hard to kill. Then its younger brother, Stardust Spark Dragon, came along and just gave you the ability to just have a quick effect once per turn to just protect anything from being destroyed by battle or card effects. Was very, very good. Number 6, Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. Generic level 8 synchro dragon monster with 3000 attack, and give it the fact that it can once per turn blow as many special summon effect monsters on the field with attack or equal to less than to its attack, and then burn your opponent for 500 for each monster it destroys with the effect, that's really good. This card could change the entire course of games, and the fact that it didn't destroy itself, you could straight up just end games with this card alone. This card is very, very powerful and definitely deserves a spot on this list. Number 5, Ultimaya to Zulkin. Now, while this card on its own, despite its incredible artwork, isn't the most amazing card we've ever seen, it's more so what this card gives us access to is the dumb part about it, and why I think it deserves the number 5 spot on this list. Being able to give us access to powerful synchro monsters just by setting a spell or trap card, and synchro monsters of the calibers of cards like Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, a card that's very deck specific otherwise as to what can make it. Ultimate Result can completely change the way that card is going to affect the game by giving any deck that can make it to Zulkin, named Metalfoe, that just gave them access to a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This card is absolutely incredible in just what it gives us access to. Number 4, TG Hyper Librarian. This card's on this list as high as it is because of just what it did. It basically allowed you to just make this card and then just continue your combos and then draw cards for each Synchro monster you summoned. Given the fact that you had powerful Synchros like Trishula that already allowed you to just do dumb things, and then you got to draw in the process of making your Trishula, add in the fact that cards like Formula Synchron combined with this, you made the formula with this on field, that was 2 draws. Also, with cards like Desynchro, you could make stupid loops where you could like summon your Librarian, summon your formula, draw 2, Desynchro your formula, then remake it and draw another 2 cards. It was actually incredible. Number 3, Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Well, this card isn't the most easiest card to summon for some decks because it does require 2 or more non-tuner monsters. When this card hits the field, it is a force to be reckoned with. This card was so powerful that Konami felt it was ban-worthy at one point, and it was banned for about 3.5 years. They even tried to mimic this card in the Necros deck by making Necros of Trishula. Basically, this card allowed you to get rid of 3 cards with 1 card. Being able to remove from play a card from the hand, the field, and the graveyard just by summoning this card was incredibly powerful. Also, given the fact that it has a 2700 body, this card was literally one of the most powerful Synchro monsters in the game at its time. Also, today, add in the fact that decks like Yang Zing give you access to this card on your opponent's turn, that's even better. Number 2, Brionac, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. The fact that this card's a generic level 6 Synchro monster with a 2300 attack isn't bad on its own, but then its real dumbness shows up when you add in the fact that it has a non-once per turn effect that allows you to just dump any number of cards out of your hand to spin the same number of cards on the field back to the hand. This card allows you to dump cards out of your hand like Plague Spreader Zombie, Destiny Hero Malicious, Glow Up Bulb, and Mizuki. Cards that already wanted to be in the graveyard to just use their effects from there and just make your boards and plays even dumber and keep extending your turn. This card was really good in the fact that it just allowed you to remove cards off the field to just put cards you'd want in the graveyard there and get rid of cards in the process. Honorable mentions for this list include Ignis or Prominence, the Blasting Draco Slayer, Scrap Dragon, Void Ogre Dragon, Shooting Quasar Dragon, and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. And finally, number 1, Psyframe Lord Omega. Talk about a Synchro monster that does it all, and Omega is the first card that comes to my mind. Being a generic level 8 with decent stats, that's already a good start. Then when you add in its first effect, that during either player's main phase, you can banish it from the field and a random card for your opponent's hand until your next standby phase, that's already pretty good. Also, did I mention that's a quick effect? So it basically makes it immune to targeting. Also, the fact that that card that's banished goes face up so you get knowledge about what your opponent has is even better. Then, during your once per turn during your opponent's standby phase, you can target a banished card and return it to the graveyard, allowing you to recycle cards like Plague Spreader Zombie is another very powerful effect. And to top it all off, the fact that if this card is destroyed, when it's in your graveyard, you can target another card in either player's graveyard and shuffle both that and this card from the graveyard back into the deck is incredible. It has built-in recycling, so you can just make it again. This card literally has it all. So let me know what you guys thought about my list. Did you like it? Do you think there was anything I missed? Do you think there was any card that should have been on this list that wasn't? Do you think there was any cards on this list that shouldn't have been there? Let me guys know down in the comment section below. And also, if you guys want to see more of these top 10 videos, please leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe. Spawny out.